The feds raided P. Diddy after they caught him on footage from the evidence of him leaving the studio the night that the producer accused him of the new allegations that are being brought forth amongst them. P. Diddy has been being looked at for a multitude of different violations and indictments that's being occurring right now because of the fact that him and the alleged victims have been going on a long, ongoing battle legally in the courtroom trying to figure this whole thing out, and that's leading to P. Diddy having to come to a lawsuit and a settlement of $15 million will be pretty much confirmed and agreed to and signed over, because P. Diddy is looking at serving time of over 20 years if he's indicted and charged with these allegations that they just came forward with. This is not the first time we heard about all of this year, because they actually did the same thing when Cassie accused Diddy of what had happened, and now we're finding out that all of these things that P. Diddy is being said that he did is becoming true. We know this because he would have just kept fighting that if it wasn't, and so the fact that he settled is ending his whole entire career because of the fact that his actions that he chose to make is coming back to bite him. And this is karma from a lot of situations. If you guys want to get justice for the victims, go ahead and comment, put 222 for all the victims of P. Diddy. That's including Tupac, Kim Porter, Heavy D, anybody that's been affected, Biggie Smalls. If you guys are supporting them, like the video and comment 222, because now that P. Diddy has been caught and they're looking to press the charges and go further with this investigation to look for more evidence at his house in Miami that got raided, the mansion. The feds came in, they busted down the front door with a battering ram. P. Diddy had just literally left in the Range Rover because he had heard somebody was coming, and he looked out on the camera, seen the feds was coming, so he escaped. Boom, once he escaped, he was driving down the street in the Range Rover, and next thing you know, the feds go into his house as a whole, alarms went off and everything like that. Then they find the actual footage from the cassette tapes back then when they had the VHS recording system, and P. Diddy's security cameras caught everything on footage from all those after parties, all those white parties, and the freak offs that he was having and everything. And so he just got busted, man. And this is another reason why a lot of people, they'll go over and beyond. Diddy just kept on pushing people into bad situations. He kept on actually made it a toxic work environment, and a lot of people, they were afraid to speak up because they didn't want to have to find another job. They didn't want to have to lose their fame and everything like that, because that's something that they were worried about happening. They had just got out from being broke and everything, signed to P. Diddy, and next thing you know, P. Diddy is doing all of these crazy things, and a lot of people were afraid to say no because they didn't want to lose the lifestyle that they had just gotten into, and they just remember how hard it was surviving right before they just got signed for a lot of money. And so when you really look at it, P. Diddy was using this tactic of taking the money, the fame, and all of that, and use it against the person and get them to do whatever it is that they he wanted them to do. And they had enough of it now, and everybody's coming out and they're letting everybody know this is what they had to deal with P. Diddy. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. This dude has put people through a lot, including Tupac's family, Biggie Smalls' family, Kim Porter's family, and Jennifer Lopez. She was speaking out about this. This is why she left him so quick, man. And a lot of the other relationships from P. Diddy, people are now starting to speak out. Kimora Lee Simmons, and they're telling the truth about what really happened behind closed door with Diddy. We seen what Cassie said. She had a lot of emotions when she was talking about what she experienced with Diddy, man, and he had put her through a lot. None of the people deserve what happened to them after facing P. Diddy basically, and surviving P. Diddy is a real thing. It's a lot of people that have passed cross with P. Diddy, and their whole nothing's been the same ever since then, because they thought that he wasn't going to do anything like that, and he basically manipulated them and used them as a stepping stone to get to where he's at now. And he let the fame change him, he let the money get to his head and everything like that. And this is the reason why a lot of people, they start acting different once they get to the level that P. Diddy got to, and he had to keep his boss is happy and everything like that. And so whatever it was, the 90s, he thought he could get away with it, but he kept continuing. And after the Tupac situation, after Biggie Smalls, he still kept trying to do all of these things to all of these people. And in the 2000s, and now this is what everything is coming back in 2024, is what he was doing in the 2000s. And so there's many people, victims that are still yet to come forward. They're saying it could be at least 100 different people that might step forward. And so what this is going to cause is one of those people, man, they're not going to settle. They're going to end up getting P. Diddy locked up. And so a lot of people have a lot to say about this, and they think that P. Diddy, he's guilty for what he's done, and he's going to get what he deserves, because the karma is just letting him know that he's not just going to get away with this scot-free. He's going to have to pay for the actions that he did. And now it's looking like the repercussions of that is him getting in trouble for all of this and losing all of his deals with Ciroc. They dropped him. They dropped him from De Leon vodka. They didn't want anything to do with him and the tequila and everything like that. And really, if you pay attention to Sean John and everything, is they kicked him out of the Macy's stores. And so now P. Diddy, all of the things that he had going on got cut short because of his actions that he chose to do years and years ago, and it's coming back to bite him, because back then he should have known that he was in the wrong, and he should have stopped. He should have listened to people like Gene Deal, who was trying to tell him to, hey, don't do all of that. Or there's a lot of people that actually been speaking out, including 50 Cent. 50 Cent has been trying to say what P. Diddy's been doing. He's been trying to side with the victims and expose all of the details that's been coming out related to all the investigation that's going on. And Bad Boys, P. Diddy, the other guy, the other executive from Bad Boys, he got in trouble. He was listed in the indictments just like how Diddy was. So they were all agreeing and doing all of this stuff together, man. This is why there was such a huge feud between Tupac and Diddy, because on like the East Coast, West Coast, when that was going around, they were saying that it was a lot of suspicious like behavior coming from Bad Boys and P. Diddy's side. And this is what it all was. Tupac was trying to tell us the whole time on what it really was between what Diddy was doing over there, and why you don't want the producer dancing all up in your videos. He was dancing all up on them and everything like that. So people have to realize that after all of these years, what's done in the dark is finally coming to light with the P. Diddy situation. And a lot of the victims' families, they're happy that they finally get the justice now, because they've been sitting back quiet, unable to respond to anything. And P. Diddy felt like he was getting away with the whole thing, and he had the whole world on his shoulders. But now they quickly realize that the tables are turned with all of these things, and now the victims have the power in this. And P. Diddy's empire is falling down right in front of our eyes, and the empire is about to crumble for Bad Boys. They might end up being forced to sell it for a lot less millions, and 50 Cent is waiting right there, licking his chops, rubbing his hands, waiting the opportunity to jump on something, because now he's rising up in the game faster than P. Diddy's falling. And this is all adding up to where we're going to be able to see the totality of this, is that 50 Cent, he's going to end up winning this. And there's always been a beef between P. Diddy and 50 Cent over who's the king of New York, who has control over that, because they're basically like at the same, they were fighting for the #1 spot, and Diddy wanted to be known as the #1 person in hip hop. And this is what he was basically like doing to get to the level that he was, when he was using all these people, when he was taking people out the way, when he was getting Tupac and them and Biggie hit up. It was so that he could be the _1 guy in hip hop, and that everybody would understand not to mess with him. And so now he's got competition. 50 Cent came along. He didn't have to get people hit up. He didn't have to set them up and get them out the way or whatever, taken out by his enforcers or nothing like that. And so now he's exposing Diddy, and he's taking the #1 spot, and everybody's seeing everything for what it really is, man. I want to send my condolences to all the victims of Diddy. If you guys support the victims and you support Tupac, Kim, Biggie Smalls, I want you to comment 222, like this video, subscribe to the channel.